I'd rather see a scared governor have to deliver on things that our climate needs. And again, Gavin Newsom's been no friend to the climate. Like, don't get me wrong here. This is not, I mean, me voting no on the recall is not a vote for Gavin Newsom. It's a vote against the recall. That's what it is.
Yeah, because that makes a ton of sense. Me voting in the recall election is me protesting the recall election. I'm boycotting the recall by voting in the recall, and I'll vote against the recall because that's how. So he doesn't understand what's going on. Ron Placone has no idea what's going on. I've been listening to this damn thing for 25 fucking minutes, and he even showed the damn thing where it says it makes no sense to not vote for for the second question. He hasn't got to it yet, and I would think that he would have told us in the very beginning who he would have voted for. I'm already 25 minutes in. I shouldn't have to fucking waste goddamn my entire life just to find out if Ron Placone voted on the second question of California's recall election. Now, he's going to give a false equivalency or a false scenario. He's going to say it's either Larry Elder or Caitlyn Jenner. No, it could be Kevin Paffrath. It's either going to be Larry Elder or Kevin Paffrath or the progressive that all these, Jimmy Dore motherfuckers will coalesce around. Perhaps it could be Dan Kapelovis. Perhaps John Robert Drake, Michael Loebs, or David Moore. Perhaps David Moore will get some votes. But Ron Placone doesn't know what in the goddamn fuck he is talking about. Basically, he is saying, if we don't vote for Newsom, we're going to get Kevin McCarthy. No, we're not. You could get Kevin Paffrath, and if you don't vote for the recall or do vote for the recall, it may not go your way. You could vote against the recall for whatever reasons, right? No on the recall because he hates the actual recall itself. But if he is recalled, who's going to be your second choice? Ron Placone, I think, has fucked this ballot up, just like the Progressive Voice, just like Hinkle. They're either not voting or they're not answering the second fucking question. And so the whole idea, if we don't, have Gavin Newsom, then we're just going to get Larry Elder. And he said Caitlyn Jenner. Caitlyn Jenner's polling at like 2%. There's no fucking way that Caitlyn Jenner will ever be governor of California. No fucking chance. I'll bet you unlimited amounts of money. 300 fucking thousand million bazillion dollars. Caitlyn Jenner is not going to become the goddamn governor. She's got no fucking chance whatsoever. So him going on saying, well, that's just pro-Nestle and this and that, and then he's going to say it's actually bad for the Democrats to vote for the Democrats because if the Larry Elder gets in there, then that'll be great for fundraising. And that's really all the Democrats want. That's all the Democrats want. So it's like, you know what? Let's not win this election. Why not? So we can fundraise. So we can make lots of money. But wait, we're not going to win the election? Yeah, why? So we can fundraise. That's crazy, and, hopefully they fundraise and fucking beat the motherfuckers, right? That's the whole thing. Even Angel Lynn wants to release the otters. Even Angel Lynn would do less damage than Larry Elder, which is why Ron Placone should have coalesced around John Robert Drake, Michael Loeb, or David Kapelovis, along with all the force to vote, Jimmy Dore motherfuckers. David Moore, why didn't you vote for the Trotsky? Huh? Ron Placone, you didn't vote for the Trotsky, did you? So when Gavin Newsom is recalled, and it turns out that Ron Placone didn't vote for anybody on the second question. He had 46 choices. 46 choices, and he picked nobody. Now he's going to say later on he don't even like Gavin Newsom. He says he's bad on the environment and shit. He's not a good progressive. He's going to say that later on we're going to push him harder, right? Because that worked with Biden so well. Get him in office and then push him harder. That now is the time to push him. And I guess I'll make that point because he is going to show the point that a politician is scared, so he wants Gavin Newsom, a scared politician, in there than somebody else. Well, he's saying that Gavin Newsom has already found some money for broadband internet, and he did something else too. So there's like some last-minute ditch effort that Gavin Newsom is doing. So Ron Placone recognizes the power of making the politician afraid. Well, he's got 4 days to get California some universal health care, just a floor vote. That's forced to vote, right? So just get a floor vote for health care. Are you paying attention? Ron Placone. Pay attention, Ron Placone. Jimmy Dore, pay attention. You get a floor vote in the next 4 days for universal health care. If you don't get a floor vote in the next 4 days for universal health care from Gavin Newsom, you're gone, Gavin. No, you vote yes, you kick that fucking bum to the goddamn curb, and then you vote for David Moore. David Moore, coalesce around the Trotsky. Go with the Trotsky. You need to go with the Trotsky. But if you just need somebody with universal health care, you got John Robert Drake, Michael Loebs, and Dan Kapelovitz. Vote for somebody that will get a single-payer health care. And make that the only fucking issue that they'll get. Just one issue. Universal health care. Which one's going to get it for us? David Moore. The Trotsky. The Trotsky's going to get us universal health care. All right, Ron Placone, let's
22. That's
carry on with your nonsense.
What will happen if Gavin Newsom gets recalled. Now, if he doesn't get recalled, and for a year, so for 1 year, we're going to be able to push this guy harder on climate.
We're going to push this guy harder, right? Just like Biden. That works so well.
You know, again, he's no friend of the climate, but there have been...
He's not a friend of the climate, but fuck it. Let's keep him in power anyways.
Some steps taken in a better direction. And we have a better chance at doing a lot of good things for climate on the state level in California than we do through the Biden administration. So that is significant. The fact that fracking permits are now being denied, is it enough? No. Do we need to roll back a bunch of other fracking permits? Yes. But is it better than a bunch of them getting approved? Obviously. Obviously. He's not a great governor. And he does not deserve to be governor.
He doesn't deserve to be governor, but keep him in there anyways. He's not good on the climate, but keep him in there anyways. He's not a progressive. He hasn't given us a progressive agenda, but keep him in the... We don't have universal health care, but let's go ahead and keep him in anyways. Force the vote, Ron Placone. Force the vote. Shit. Last but not least, I took a whole bunch of notes on the other one, but it was a little shaky when I was doing his clips. And I'll get better at this. I'm doing the best. I'm doing the best with what I got, okay? But this force to vote opportunity is so fucking obvious. No, Gavin Newsom, you're not going to take my vote. You're not going to take my goat for granted, okay? You're not going to take my goat. Where did you tie your goat? Where is my goat tied? And how come, wait, what are we talking about? You're not going to take my vote for granted, Gavin Newsom. So you're going to give me universal health care, or I'm not going to fucking vote for you. Simple as that. I'm going to vote for the motherfucker that gets me universal health care. And that's all I care. I'm a single issue voter. That's all I care about. Give me universal health care, or, you know, or go fuck yourself, you fucking piece of shit. Give me universal health care, bust. So he wants to not participate in democracy, not run for office, you know, not get 2 million signatures for instant runoff voting. So he's not going to try any of these other, you know, options or opportunities. He's not going to try any of these other things. He's going to skip over the force to vote opportunity, a clear force to vote opportunity. He's not going to try any of the democracy. And then when it goes to Larry Elder, he's going to say, see, electoralism is crap. And then he's going to shit on the power of recall. So Ron Placone, he seems to have no ideology whatsoever. He says he believes in a general strike, but I don't know for what. For a constitution, 3 branches of government, elections, recall, initiative, referendum, a Bill of Rights, democracy. Recall is good for democracy. So if he's opposed to the tool for democracy, he don't even know what the fuck he's talking about. He's against the Republicans using the tool, but the tool is there for anybody. So that means get 2 million signatures, and you could recall Larry Elder. You're sick of the Democrats, and you don't want to see them fundraise and make a bunch of money. When Larry Elder gets in there, get 2 million signatures and recall that bastard. You know? So this is a governor's election. This is a governor's election. The stakes are very high, and Ron Placone is just so fucking flippant about it. I know he put some thought, 29 minutes into the damn thing, and thank goodness somebody's talking about it and putting something out there. But why are you so wrong? Why are you so off the mark? The softball, it's on the tee. You can just knock it out of the park.
But we don't deserve what would happen with this recall election, because I just played it out for you. Whereas if Gavin Newsom keeps this gig for another year, he has all these promises he has to uphold. He has all these promises he has to uphold if he wants to keep his job, and he does want to keep his job. Oh, and by the way, I almost forgot to include this. Ron, are you sure that the Democratic establishment would really win not in the literal sense, but really win if a Republican became governor? Yes, I'm sure, and here's some proof. Check this out. All right, so this is the official stance. This is a tweet from Dave Anthony, very funny comedian. I love his podcast, The Dollop. And Dave's actually never been on this show, but I really got to get him on. All right, so here's his tweet. Dave says, Newsom's text bankers are telling people not to worry about voting for a candidate after voting no on recall. Democrats will kill us all at some point. So here's a text message from their campaign, and I've been getting similar text messages like this too. Everyone in California has. Ballots need to be postmarked and returned by 8 p.m. on Election Day, but we recommend putting them in the mail ASAP. The ballot will have 2 parts. Question 1 asks, shall Gavin Newsom be recalled from the office of governor? And you should vote no in order to keep Governor Newsom in office. You should vote no because, in my opinion, you should vote no because the recall is a total scam and because we'd be better off beating this guy in 2022 than right now. You should vote no because it's a strategic, it's the best way to move strategically. Not because Gavin Newsom deserves to be governor, not because Gavin Newsom is a good governor. He is neither one of those two things. But the time to beat him is 2022. And it's with someone better. Question 2 allows voters to choose a replacement candidate. Again, this is from their campaign. But Governor Newsom can't be part of that list. You can leave the second question blank. So here's what Dave said, and Dave's freaking right. You shouldn't tell people to leave the second blank because if he gets recalled, we end up with Elder. You guys really have no idea what you are doing. I disagree with Dave slightly. They do know what they're doing. They would rather, if Gavin Newsom can't keep his job, they'd rather see a Republican become governor because then they know the gravy train that's in store for them. They'd rather see. They're not going to endorse somebody. They're not going to. They want to see their boy Gavin keep his gig. And if he can't keep his gig, fuck you, California. Deal with Larry Elder or Caitlyn Jenner. Larry Elder's the more likely, I think.